Okay, I just, I'm, calm. I'm, faithful, yet nervous, because I just hit submit. I mean, I've been a work in progress, and I was streaming the modern Christian rock or whatever off Pandora, and I'm like, next. I wasn't feeling it right. And, all of a sudden I remembered that number. Not that I just remember it, I mean, because I am aware enough on a multitude of levels to be able to separate my cognizance and my resonance. I felt the number 91.9. And without even thinking, my hands went to the internet, saw it a live 91.9 Christian live stream DC. Click, stream, and as it was streaming, my eyes, I'm getting lightheaded right now, like, wow. My eyes were drawn to the prayer works link. Now I used to be a person that never listened to Christian music at all, but hey, I've come a long way through a whole lot. And how the heck, if your entire life has been an undercover operation back to back to back, how do you even know who and what you are? And God, who I refuse to diminish with a label, God, I met you at the crossroads. I mean, I've heard prayer works mentioned on the radio many times. I mean, especially because for increasingly for a year now, and I'd say pretty much non-stop, like 3, 4, 5 months. I mean, that's like almost all I listen to, right? I've heard it plenty of times, but there's a difference between reading a recipe and eating the meal. When I had my come to Jesus moment, not with labels, but as in using them as the scriptures, because everybody kind of knows what that means, The come to Jesus moment was Tuesday. Hold on, let me check the date. So that would have been Tuesday, March 15th, 2 days ago. And my come to Jesus moment was snapping awake, remembering in my human inadequacy, remembering how my voice was never enough to make the difference I wanted to. And as I'm saying this, I feel like because I failed to look behind me and see what I had achieved. Kept looking in front of me and seeing what I had failed. And most deeply, most profoundly, most unerringly, for me, that is the uniform. I am I know pride's a sin, but I'm gonna give myself a little bit. I'm a little bit proud. My ass was kicked out of both Iraq and Afghanistan. For reasons I respect to this day. Because it doesn't matter what angle you look at it from, what story you tell, what scent you smell. I am not a prostitute, and I am not for sale. Because that's who we were taught we are. Labels and judgments, labels and judgments, labels and judgments. None of this shit is God. This is us. And today, I accepted my position. The cross that's made you flawless. I will meet you at the crossroads. In my first life, I fought so hard. And I was so stubborn. I had to die. We have to fall to be caught. And when you scratch and claw and dig and refuse to just let go, if you are righteous, then just let go, and you will be caught. And I stand on the fact that I'm standing. Because I tried so hard for so long. I had to fall so far as to not just die, my hell was to know I could have done more. And just as I would never allow my medical unreliability to endanger anyone's life, never would I give an order I would not be prepared to follow myself. And never would I quit, knowing there was more I could do. I fought my way back from hell. When I was in that 3-month coma, I was not sleeping. I was deciding. I was deciding whether or not to accept my self-tailored hell of failing to do more, or I could stop fighting. I could let go. I could fall. And when you are dead and in hell, there is no further I could fall. But I'm a fast learner, and I have overcome much. And I keep trying. I have always done my best. I have always given everything I've had. Or I felt the sting of it, just enough to remember not to do it again. With my one downfalling, my one finger trap, being love, being needed, being able to help, knowing there was something I could do. Pick up any Greek tragedy and I pray, you quickly learn that the more you fight something, the more you make it happen. How many hundreds and hundreds of years have we been reading that and living it again and again and again? I had to die because I would not give up. I had to go to hell, and I stayed exactly as long as I needed to learn. I needed to learn that I can do more good by showing my weakness and by leveraging peace and love. Because everything but God has two sides. God is the fulcrum. God is the one answer, the one thought, the one feeling, God is the only thing that has no price, no cost, no burden, no doubt, That is what God is. In every flavor, in every true understanding. That is what God is. Because God is. God is. Anything more than those two simple words diminishes the meaning. Labels, judgments, projections, these are all human inadequacies. Enough has been done in God's name. Ugh. Because I have fought so hard for what I knew. Because I had fought so hard. I had to die. And not just any death would do. The love of my life. The love of my life loves irony. And I love him. The love of my life. When I died, I lost my friends, my family. I've lost everybody except the VA. Because the VA and because the people I cross paths with there, because we know anxiety does not mean broken, and damage does not mean you're done. I own every bit of damage I have. I do. Oh my God, that's right, and that reminds me. Okay, alright, so I know God and I don't get along all the time, okay? But I'm realizing that's my fault, and I'm working on self-care. You know, I know to me this feels like a long time, but God works in mysterious ways and in timing that is not our own. I feel like this may be taking a long time, but my whole psych team reminds me regularly how far I've come and what I have achieved. With polite little boot in the butt reinforcements of self-care that I need and I am thankfully appreciative for. But hey, in the interim, I'm doing the best I can, and is what it is. And anybody that dare asks more from me than the best I can give deserves nothing from me. So this video, it's like I've had yesterday, Wednesday. Let's back up, yo. For you to start, we start. You know, this final stage of evolution, the last minced, transparent slice of onion. The onion that really makes you cry. That started 2 days ago. Well, I'm sure it started it's a we are constant works in progress, and this is a constant evolution. But for me, I got that kick in the back, shoving me out the door. My first go. Bam! I'm sorry, Lucky, honey. It's okay. It's okay. And good call. Let me rephrase. God, good call. And thanks for answering. Or let's water that down a little bit more. And thanks for listening. Tuesday was the first time I have been able to handle myself in a professional and productive manner on the phone, achieving pretty important goal, you know? Doesn't really matter what I achieved. What matters was that I made the goal itself. So apparently when you get like really severe brain damage, polytrauma, meaning you've got a combination the polytrauma waiting room. Well, the explanation is in the name. Polytrauma. Apparently when you get really bad brain damage, the VA designates you your social worker if you choose to participate. And I am proud to say I have Captain, I'm giving her all she's got, you know. I was getting a little bit nervous. So I'll just get this bit about Anne, so that way I can take a few minutes and do the next video explaining Wednesday, right? Yesterday, and how every interaction was a validation of my purpose, of my being, and my faith. But Anne, you were the one that kicked me out the door. You know, we made the call to the passport office. She has always been so patient. Once I taught her how to be patient with me, she has been incredibly patient. And trust me, I can be quite a difficult person to be patient with. And she has stepped up to the challenge beautifully. And she knew how much this passport means to me. She knows how much I eagerly await my respite in Thailand, so tucked away from civilization that I can finally get lost until I find myself. So, We dialed through, we got a human, and then she gives me the, you're on the hotspot and look, and she just pushes the phone on loudspeaker over to me, and she's like, well handled. Well done. And I the greatest compliment I can give you, because I know what I am. I know I'm a pain in the ass. 'Cause damn, that shot hurt, don't it? I know what I am, and I own every inch of me. But I also know what else I am, and I have faith in what more I can be. So thank you for putting up with me. VA, thank you. Anne, thank you. Stephanie, Leslie, and most of all Pam, thank you. And hey, look at me. I'm practicing self-care. Woo woo. I'm actually deliberately, consciously, actively making the choice to take a few minutes for myself and share my God-filled and faith-filled day. I'm going to take a few minutes of me time, and then I'll tell you all about Wednesday. Yes, yesterday. Wednesday, March 16th, 2016. I will tell you about a day that I personally found so validating. I have faith. I have faith. And the most beautiful and the most dangerous thing is to have utmost faith. Peace be with you.